Hello everybody, they call me Muse and I welcome you back to Baldur's Gate 3 and mean old jolly Glisserspark and a crew of ne'er-do-wells. We've got a locked door in front of us. That's no good. Astarion, would you care to get the ball rolling by cracking this bugger? Seems like you will. Yeah, that'll do it.
Still breathing, despite everything.
A 20 and a 1. Is that a good sign for this episode? Or the other thing? Either way, let's steal some mushroom.
I do like it down here. It's nice. Homey.
This is a dedication to my goddess's power and dark beauty. Homey is not the first word that comes to mind.
I mean, it is pretty homey. He's not wrong. Oop. The ominous autosave. So we'll tug that lever. Is there much in here? There's a chest. Just a bit of gubbins. And that way we got the shrine. I suppose it would make sense for Shadowheart to do a bit of pray.
Your prayers fade away. Nothing comes to you in return. No soothing presence, no spiritual embrace. Only darkness and silence. Your efforts must be inadequate. You must do more to please Shah going forward.
We can do that. Let's pray harder.
The faintest sensation of approval quickens your heart. A hard-won blessing from your mistress.
Thanks, Shah. The Night Singer's favour. Resistant to necrotic damage until our next long rest. Although I'm sure we had a different buff there a moment ago. Is this one overwritten that one? Or have we got both? There we go. While remaining obscured, we get a bonus to armor class. So we do have both. No, we've got a big old rumble in here. But I think that's fine.
You prowl my battleground. Why? Are you friend? Foe? Thieving scavenger?
You find yourself in a dead, putrid skull, somehow hosting a tadpole amongst a squirm of maggots. Another presence lurks within, manipulating the corpse like a puppet.
A friend. An uninvited friend. I do not request help.
Well, you've got it anyway. Sorrel sent me. I'm looking for Balthazar.
Did she now? Enter. I will see if I have any use for you.
Oh dear.
Stinking pile of ogre afterbirth! The quakes herald the shadows. They found me.
We're not scared of shadows.
Trespasser. Merkel's fat lapdog.
You won't like being called fat. But we are going to try our best to deal with this situation. That's what we're going to do. So that's decent
Step
damage
forward.
to begin with. I guess we can't mock it, we can't sand toss it.
Over here?
Yeah.
Oi!
We could probably mock this guy though.
Which means that chucked you.
Yeah, take that. Shovel. Yeah, you haven't got the reach to smack that one, even with that little dash, little jump. So you just sort of stand about. And then Astarion absolutely has the reach if he does a big bounce. That's you out of the way. And we can't reach that one, but we can bash this lad. Nice. We'll move up there and start thinking about that one. And now, Minty, what are you going to do? There's still 3 of these buggers. One's up there that Starion's heading towards. That one's a ways away. And that one's there. So, if we could hit this one, this would be good. But no, it's too far out of range. We'll deal with it next turn, I guess. Only 6 damage. But Shadowheart should be able to finish it off. Nice. So we've only got 2 of those orbs left. And we've got a second attack, but yeah, it's kind of out of range. What about this one? Nice! I wasn't expecting to take that one out this turn. I guess what we could have done is a bit of a cunning dash, and then we would be able to take that one out. So if one were to action surge, then maybe one can take this one out. Wonderful. Although a second battle has immediately begun, and 4 more of these things have sprung into being. Including one behind us. That's just cheeky. So Astarion can smack that one about. Can't reach any of the others though. Unless he uses a bow. And does great damage. Now Jolly could double back for that one maybe. But let's see, that one's almost down. And we've just got a shot with our bow, so yeah, let's deal with that one. Those guys don't seem to want to do much. Shovel's not going to be able to reach anything this turn, so yeah, let's just shuffle over that way. And then Shadowheart again can shoot some of these buggers. Nice. Pretty good. We need 1 damage. Nice. And it's done. Hello, big boy. So I guess we'll bob in, say hello to our friends that were behind the door.
Finally, we can talk face to face. Not just any true soul would have succeeded in following my path through this place. You should be pleased.
I am pretty good. I did fight a battle right under your nose though. Help would have been useful.
Do you truly expect your betters to sully their hands to aid you at every turn, true soul? Such a poor grasp of hierarchy. But never mind. Your potential may outweigh your ignorance. I am Balthazar, Chief Advisor to General Thorm, and entrusted with a mission of utmost importance. Do you know what is at stake here?
I mean, judging by how you're cowering in here, your survival.
I do not cower. I plan, I command, I create. General Thorm trusts me. He knows I will deliver. He knows I will stand by him long after all others wilt and fall. You and all the rest have only one body with which to serve. I have as many as I care to make.
Yet you seem no closer to retrieving the Night Song. I read your notes, by the way. They were very interesting.
Interesting and private. Give me one reason why I shouldn't have my creations kill you right now, thief.
I mean, I had Zrell's permission. Is that good enough for you?
Zrell exceeds her authority. But fine. I'll overlook your transgressions this time. There are much grander things at stake. The Night Song is my finest creation. If I never exceed myself, I will still die happy. Not that I ever intend to do something as gauche as truly dying, of course. Now, given your prying nature, I have work for you as a scout. The Night Song lends the General his strength, his invulnerability. It must be recovered before his enemies attempt to exploit it.
Sounds like good reason to be proud of the Night Song. Tell me more.
And spoil the surprise? I think not. But let's just say that the Night Song was a unique specimen even before I began my work. Words, even my words, are woefully insufficient. When you see for yourself, you will understand.
Keeping it vague. Very well, what do you need me to do?
I do not need you or your help. But you are here in spite of that, so I may as well make use of you. The Night Song is close, but the way is barred, and Shah's dead are uncooperative. Clear the path for me by blade, cunning, or whatever it takes. I will remain here until you have succeeded. Or fallen.
I'd trust this gas bag about as far as I can throw him, which isn't far. But perhaps better to play along for now.
You're right, Shadowheart. Although for jobs like this, it's good form to provide your operatives with some extra resources.
Fine. I will assign Flesh to aid you on your way. Ring this bell, and he will come. My brother is no intellectual powerhouse, but he is strong, loyal, and punctual. Should a fight turn against you, remember the bell.
We will do that. Thanks for the bell.
Flesh will remain here until called. But don't fear, he has very sharp hearing. I chose his ears myself. Now, get to work.
Excellent. We will do so. So we've got a flash bell. Only functional in the Gauntlet of Shah, so there's like maybe one fight I can think of where that could be useful. But what's going on behind this door? Might take a while to find out because this one's got a difficult lockpick on it. 13 to 16 bonus, but it's a 30. Okay, we did it in one. Well done, Astari. And now treasure, the Callous Glow Ring. The wearer deals additional damage against creatures that are illuminated. We got a bunch of gubbins. Now we got some scrolls and more gubbins. Wonderful. What was that book that we picked up? Teachings of Loss, Endless Dark. Yeah, it's just some Shah stuff. Let's give it to Shadowheart. She might like to read that in her downtime. Now we can stroll out this way, which is another direction that we could have approached from. And it brings us to the waypoint. Excellent. That's what we needed, basically. The waypoint is all we need from this place at this time, and now we can go back out and enjoy the rest of Act 2. So we're back to the inn. There is business we have to attend to here. Tricky business. It's unusual business, to be sure. Let's go into turn-based mode. His Majesty is here. Let us use an improvised melee weapon. We're going to use His Majesty as that improvised melee weapon. And we are going to do what with him? How far can we move? Not hugely far, but let's see. It's going to require some dexterity, this. Ah. Okay, that didn't work. We'll pretend that didn't happen. So we're going to pick up His Majesty, and we're going to find somewhere far away where we can...
Yes, Mom.
Yeah, there we go. That should do it. And then we're going to quickly travel to the Gauntlet Shaft. His Majesty, you are here in the Gauntlet Shaft now. Don't worry, you'll be fine. There's lots of rats to eat. And it will keep you safe from anything untoward that might be occurring back at Last Light Inn.
Begone!
Aww. Doesn't like the fact I've picked him up, but that's okay. That's fine. So what's the other goals that we've got? So we've got Raphael's old enemy to kill. We've got the Selûnite resistance to investigate. And we've probably got other things to do in the town, because we've barely touched the town, if at all. There's lots of XP to be had out here. We're still only level 7. We generally expect to be like level 9. Or we'd hope to be level 9 by the time we get to the big bads at the end of Act 2. So some sort of noises coming from upstairs. Maybe we want to pop up and investigate what's going on. A gold-clad figure.
What do you bring?
Lots of gold, actually, because I forgot to drop any off outside of here before the fight began. So risk of being one-shot, probably. But we are more of a taker than a bringer, if you catch my drift.
You never take, only bring. I require good.
Well, only a fool's easily parted with gold. What's in it for me?
You can pass, but first you must pay.
Here's a gold piece. You've eaten it?
Again!
I mean, we don't hand out this much gold for so little in return.
You may pass the river, but first you must pay.
Now we've got all sorts of options. Yeah, the toll collector scam's old and uninspired. Figure out a new trick. It's a difficult roll, but we've got 8 to 11 and advantage. That should do it.
Trick! No! Gold! I require gold!
Yeah, it's a trick. You're a trickster and you don't deserve the gold. No advantage this time. That's going to be tight. Yeah, if we hadn't got a 1 on the guidance, we might have got that. Let's give it another go. That's even worse. That's maybe better. Yeah.
A trick! I trick! No! 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 I paid back.
Good. And there we go. She's dead. So we'll take that gold, that's ours now. The Twist of Fortune we'll take. And these heavy armor, but more importantly, they're just coins. So they're just worth picking up and adding to wares, although we are now extremely encumbered. Because of course we are. But Astarion is a big strong man, so he can carry those for us. Maybe you can crack this safe open. Even with the plus 7 to 11 or whatever it was, he failed. But you can just try again. Excellent. Even more gold. We require gold. That's that door. What about this door? This one might require a bit of lock picking. Not a huge amount though. Nothing we can't handle. And then this chest also requires lockpicking. And we get the Gloves of Battle Mage's power. And if you hit a target with a spell or cantrip that uses a weapon, you gain arcane acuity. So not doing a whole lot of that. We've got Booming Blade, but then we don't need arcane acuity on Jolly, really. So yes, let's move on with our lives. Is there anything really worth grabbing
That's curious.
in here? Whoops. Sorry, Minty. Can we get down there safely? Not really. But she can come over here. Push this button. Now we could all rendezvous out here. Although she's now in the Shadow Curse, so maybe... we can't fast travel in our current condition. Okay. And now we can't because we're in turn-based mode. There we go, we're all back together. Let's try this Mason's Guild. That might be something we want to deal with. Look like some of the crew were getting Shadow Cursed again. It would have been nice to get the permanent buff from the Pixie, but alas.
That's curious.
Should be easy.
Now we'll crack this open. It should certainly be easy, as Astarion says. We rolled a 1 and a 2. And we still nearly made it. There we go. Now, trap lies ahead.
Something over there.
So we'll crack that whilst we're here. And then further on in we have a room. More importantly, a rumble. There we go. It's rumbling time. So let's punch in this wraith if we can. Excellent. Shovel? Can't really fist anything this turn, but that's okay. Now, do we want to mock it?
Beating thee will soil my hands.
So a lot of shadow teleporting going on. I'd imagine. Oh, shovel. She got fisted. Now, Shadowheart. Let's move in a bit, please. The Wraith is probably the only real threat in here. So let's get rid. And then it should just be clean up for the rest of them. That wasn't amazing. Have you got any crossbows yet? No, we need a couple of hand crossbows for Minty. Astarion can take care of that one. Potentially this one too. Jolly could perhaps help, but it's probably best if she stays down there. And then she doesn't move the moon shield away from the rest of them.
Majesty of manure. Sovereign of shit.
And we're down to 3 shadows. One of whom isn't doing a lot. Not happy with that one getting a good hit in. But there goes another. The others are kind of invisible right now, so guess we'll just chillax for a bit. There you are.
I'm talking spurious prune tart.
Yeah, have that, you prune tart. You gonna come on down and play? Good. Now you're all fucked. Like so. So we have a Mason's letter that should wrap up the quest. Or maybe the log will do that. So the Thorns, they followed Selûne, but then with the death of Kethric's wife and daughter, he turned to Shah. And then someone offered help to the Selûnite resistance. A man who was no man, touched by a devil, or maybe worse. Some sort of devil man who goes around offering people help. Do we know anyone like this? Maybe we do. But according to this devil man, all of the Dark Justiciars were going to get wiped out. I didn't ask how, I just want them gone. Interesting indeed. And there's a level up for Minty. Everyone else is smidgens away, but at level 8 she's gained a spell and a feat. So what spell might we want? We've already got the ice-based spells that we require. Let's go with a bit of confusion. And then as for our feat, we'll take an ability improvement and get charisma up to 19. I've just noticed Minty's armor class is 14 right now. I guess she has failed to cast mage armor on herself since we last rested. Now she's up to 17, which is far more in par with everyone else. So that's good. Potentially we take a short rest though as well. There's no harm in doing so.
Off we go then.
There's probably a few long rest conversations that we want to have before the end of this act. What have we in here? Delicious scrolls, including a scroll of knock. They're pretty useful. So what's next? Have we spoken to He Who Was? No. Do we have the waypoint for the battlefield? Yes. Or is it Last Light Inn? Which of the two is the best waypoint to get to our friend? We certainly haven't explored very much in this direction. You'd think, having played through the game, and particularly through Act 2, as many times as I have, that I would have a general grasp on where everything is. But you'd be wrong. You'd be failing to take into account the fact that I'm a big idiot. But here we are. Here's friend he who was.
Where lies your guilt?
Waning moon.
Playing with the dead, are we? How charming.
Indeed. One whose secrets are not for your ears. Be on your way. A fair point. Perhaps this one could assist us. The murdered lie silent. The raven asks, will you be their voice?
Well, actually, I can talk to animals, and all the raven said was, "Core." But why does the raven want to know?
He thinks you strong enough for the task at hand. This woman tended a bar where she took her patrons, her friends, into her confidence. Promised their secrets were safe with her. Yet she turned their words into knives and stabbed them in the back.
Well
They
played.
died because of her. And to this day, her victims lie unavenged.
Well, I doubt you're here out of the goodness of your heart.
I have no heart. I seek a record of this one's crimes, written in her own hand. Through it, I can summon her spirit and force her to face trial for her crimes.
Kill the dead. Kill the killed dead. Kill the killed dead again and again.
Your mind swoons with possibilities. This blessed loon may murder the same soul as many times as he wishes.
No. I seek only justice, not murderous deviancy.
Oh,
I offer you a chance to avenge this murderer's victims. Will you take it?
if murderous deviancy is also on the table, then I guess I will. What must I do?
I thank you. As do those who died by her words. Go to the distillery, the one she calls the Waning Moon. Find the ledger and bring it to me.
I feel like that's something we can most definitely do. Quick little hop to the old Waning Moon.
That sign above. This must be a brewery. Or distillery.
I'm sure a place like this has spirits aplenty.
What a funny man you are, Astarion. Barkeep, your finest journal, please. What in the nine hells are you?
Son of Thorn! Son of Sword Coast! Go on! Cheers! Bottoms up! Go nuts!
He's bloated like a corpse and smells worse. Did the curse do this?
I guess it probably did, to be honest.
Leaning in, you can see how the creature's skin barely holds it together. The bulge of its belly is on the cusp of bursting wide open.
He looks set to burst, and will probably be left hip-deep in his juices.
Go on, drink! Make it drunk! Be drunk! You and I both! To our good health!
Yeah, tasty beverage. Sup, sup, sup. We might not actually make this. Hey!
Elixir. But such a small sip you take. Fear not. You will soon quaff as I do.
Such a dinky little cup.
Tell me the story. A fable. A saga. Delight me.
Of course we can tell you a story. I've learned a fact about these stories that we could tell. We've got so many stories available. But generally speaking, the lower down the list you go, the easier the roll. I don't know if that applies to the Hexblade as well, but it certainly applies to the others. So we could talk about how we explored a lost fortress buried deep in the Underdark's bowels.
Treasures in the dark. Like the dusty anniversary bottle, forgotten in the widow's cellar. Delightful. Delicious. You ask, you drink, then you amaze, enthuse, astound me. Again.
Hurrah! So who placed the curse on this land?
Father Ketherick created, Father Ketherick sustains. Bring it in, toss it down, lap it up.
Of course, we will have a nice delicious sip.
More stories. Tell me of foes fell, villains vanquished, beasts bastards.
Oh, we've done a lot of killing. We can tell you all about that. We bested an Inquisitor, a dreaded champion of the Lich Queen Vlaakith. Oh, no. That's not enough. That's not going to excite him. That's not going to do it. One more try. It's the same again. Why do we keep rolling? Did we just roll 3 7s in a row? Either way, he's gonna not believe us or something.
That's all. A single fight against a lone knight.
Okay, he believes us.
Sounds like a stinking pilot.
But he's not impressed.
No more blah, bland banal. Give me blood, or I take it.
Okay. So now we're just going to have to lie. We ripped one head from an Essin and force-fed it to another. That sounds good. And it's a deception roll, so odds aren't bad. Hey.
Its eyes were not bigger than its belly then. Delightful. A grisly tale with a frothy ale.
Can it?
Ask, question, make your query, and drink once more.
Yeah, we could do that. So, how do the thorns sustain the shadows?
The spirit of the land. More plague.
That wasn't a terribly informative answer, but yes, we'll have another delicious drink.
Father's personal, mysterious secret. Secret? No. Not never.
Oh, go on.
Father said, ordered, commanded. Don't say it. Don't say it. Her cage. Her cage.
Her cage?
Targan, perish, die, buried in Thorn Tomb. Father told me. I can't perish. No, nay, neither. Too strong.
Yeah, let's back away. And now we are indeed hip deep in juices. Or at least we would be if we hadn't slipped out of sight. But that's a bit easier than having a punch up. We'll take all of that. And now we're encumbered. Okay. It's understandable, I guess. It's that brewing ladle that's taken us over the weight limit. It's not even very impressive, so we'll just throw it on the floor.
Have I been this way before?
Terrible. What's that?
I'll clean up right next that. Who won't stray too quickly?
And here we go. The attention of Dark Justicia Natasha. So this is the journal that we were looking for, and now we can go and punish the wicked. Before we punish the wicked, we do have some level ups. So we've got 3 levels in Warlock at the moment. Let's keep going with Warlock for now. And what do we gain for that? We gain a cantrip. Friends could be useful. I forget if anyone else has got friends. Maybe they have, because I'm sure we've been casting friends on some things. But what else are we going to use here? We're not really going to use any long-range stuff. We've got Minor Illusion. We've got Mage Hand. But I don't think we need anything else, so we'll stick with friends. As for regular spells, we could take Shadow Blade, but it's a bit dull, so I'm not going to do that. We take Hold Person, which is very strong. It's probably worth it. And then we get another feat because we've hit level 4 in something else. So an ability improvement seems like the way to go. Get our charisma up to 19. Astarion can take a 3rd level in Rogue at this point. And he can take Thief, which gives him an additional bonus action and resistance to falling damage. But the additional bonus action is the key here. So he'll certainly hang on to that. Extra kicks, isn't it? And what is Shadowheart getting? I think we'll continue with Rogue again, but she's going to go for Assassin. Which means she has advantage on attack rolls against creatures that haven't yet taken a turn. A successful attack roll against a surprised creature is automatically a crit. And at the start of a fight, she immediately restores her action and bonus action. So kicking off fights with Shadowheart will be the way to go from here on out. Probably need to get her dex up a bit, don't we? But we'll worry about that down the line. Do we have the Gauntlets of Dex? And is there anything that would suit her better? Gloves of Archery, additional 2 damage, because she needs both Dex and Int, being an arcane archer, but she needs the Int for like her special arrows. But I feel like she just needs the Dex for her regular arrows. So that might work out nicely for her. But then again, if we're going to do that, we could probably respec her slightly and change some of her other stats, but do we need to? Maybe not. Maybe the Gloves of Dex for now, and then with some ability score increases later, we could probably get her Dex naturally up to 18. And then that would free her up to wear whatever gloves she wants. Yeah, I will do my best to remember that down the line. Now it's time to return to our friend, who was. Dig up a little treasure chest on the way. Thieves' tools. Don't mind if I do. Now he. Do you have much to say at this point?
The air stirs in trepidation. You have the ledger.
Yeah, we do. Here you go.
We have it. Her lies, her guilt. Madeline reported her friends to a dark Justicia and fled when they were butchered. Well, she flees no more. I will be the conduit for Madeline's spirit. I will force her to face trial, and you will be the judge. Make her beg. Make her suffer.
That's what we do best. Yeah, we're going to punish her thoroughly.
The Raven was right. We were fated to meet. Break her, my friend. Most thoroughly. Witness.
Bit weird.
You said I was going to be punished. That you'd be the judge. But I didn't mean to hurt anyone.
Blood taints all our hands in ways we never predict.
But this wasn't supposed to happen. I swear. I said it didn't mean nothing. That Ben and Mark were just drunk and whining. The Dark Justicia promised she was gonna chat with him. She promised.
What did she actually do?
She gave him a dagger each and told him to press it against their stomachs on the count of 3 to start stabbing and not stop till she said so. She never said stop. I'd do anything to take it back. Anything.
Well, it sounds like the best form of justice here would be to do exactly what they did. Hurt yourself as Ben and Mark did and stab yourself. Oh, Jesus Christ. What are those rolls? So we've got 8 on there. Oh, good. Guidance saves the day.
Like this?
Yeah. Start stabbing. Don't stop till I say so.
I'm sorry. I'm so
Carry on.
I'm sorry.
Delicious.
You vile sadist! What have you done to me?
You did it to yourself, Brendo. It was fun though. Can we do it again?
You dare mock me as I near bleed to death? You will join me in the darkness of oblivion, you treacherous insect!
So he's only nearly bleeding to death. That's not quite enough for our tastes. Can we use Booming Blade with the Moon Lance now? Yeah, we can. Excellent. Can we give him some pocket sound? Wonderful. Now Shadowheart. Yeah, take down the Raven. And then we'll shoot the dude as well. Maybe we'll give him a bit of frost. Just because it's fun. Good damage as well. And then fisticuffs. Victory is ours. Quest is over. And on that pile of corpses, I think we'll wrap up for today. Join us next time as we make a few more piles here and there. Until then, thanks for watching, friends.